The longest limousine in the world. This is the interior.
At 100 foot and 1.5 inches long, that's 30.54 meters. This is the longest vehicle in the world. Based on an old Cadillac, I think it might be an Eldorado, but who knows? It has a total of 26 wheels and it can seat 75 people. So instead of your average double-decker bus, you could have this very spatially, is that a word? I don't know, square foot efficient vehicle. And yeah, I mean, you can even see it almost kind of like sags down in the middle here. We have these slightly crude joins, but it's all good. It was 1986, it was a different time. You've got this like little aerial, so you can probably, hopefully watch TV in there. You've got some cameras as well. Fit and finish is, you know, it's neither here nor there. It's the longest vehicle in the world. You have a hot tub in the back for many activities, and of course to bring people to the hot tub. I mean, you can't expect these people to walk or drive. They come in on the back on a helipad, which actually probably could fit some small helicopters. But there you go, guys. We're here at the Dezer Automotive Museum here in Orlando, and I just thought I would show this to you. We can actually take a quick look in the rear here, but just look at the sheer scale of this thing. 100 foot long. It literally takes about a minute to walk around this thing at normal pace. We have this, we've got some glitzy stars. This is very American. We have the red and white chair here. I was saying earlier, would you actually, if you got into an accident in this thing, would you stop before you reach the end? Because of the amount of energy that it takes to travel 100 foot, or well, probably 80 foot. But yeah, there you go. A little bit cramped and all that stuff, but the world's longest car. And you would have seen this car in loads of magazines, books. I think I saw it in a book as a kid originally, and it was updated only in 2022. So this is brand new, restored. So yeah, as I said, you have 26 wheels. It was based on a Cadillac Eldorado limousine. Obviously, it has been fully extended. I guess, is that where the original Eldorado ended? And then you've just got a little gap here with some vents and an extra Eldorado front end, which by the way, that front end alone on the Eldorados is crazy. So to see this is interesting. And yeah, we got the DP logos. I think that's linked to the company of the guy that owns this whole museum. But let's take a look. The interior, it's nothing special. However, this car can be driven just like James May's Alpha Saab from the limo episode of Top Gear. It can be driven from the front and it can be driven from the back, which is pretty interesting. Of course, we have to have an extra 8 wheels in this section just so that the car doesn't sag too much. It already does, but yeah, it's interesting. And then here, so I had commented earlier how this looked like shoddy design work. No, I'm not totally sure. Maybe I'm not completely wrong there. However, apparently this is a pivot point to help the car turn around large corners. So this car will actually bend in the middle in order to get around corners. Now, I don't exactly get how that works, and I don't know how that works for the people inside of it, but yeah, apparently that's how it works. As if you could drive this on an open road, I don't know. So this car was originally designed by John Orchberg. I don't know exactly how you pronounce his name. He's the guy that basically built it in 1986, and he's the guy that made it even longer in 2022. They had to build this car in 2 halves and then join them together right there where I was showing you. And then in here we get just a little glimpse into the interior. Honestly, I really wish the lighting was better. Any guesses as to why the lighting is so dim? Definitely not to cover up any little loose fittings. But yeah, there's your captain's chair, your captain's throne. You can be there with your friends. This vehicle sits 75 people. So you could either get a double-decker bus in Europe, or you go for this, the American limo choice. We are now looking inside the interior of this thing, which is, that's pretty cool. I don't know if anyone's actually been able to look inside of that. Can we see? Can we see more? That is so cool.
The longest limousine in the world. This is the interior.
Oh wow.
The longest limousine in the world. It's mostly a regular Cadillac.
Yeah. Is that any extra strengthening and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
See a little screen in there for extra visibility.
Oh, that's awesome.
You
That's
can
so
turn it.
cool.
It takes about 3 miles to do a U-turn.
Wait, so it can drive?
Yes.
That's so cool. Other interesting things to note, it was really hard for them to get the roof. I think a lot of the roof sections were from an Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. This car has two V8s, one at the front and one at the rear. And on top of that, this project, so it was taken on by the guy that runs this entire museum. I believe the guy that runs it is called Michael Dezer. And yeah, this vehicle, basically what happened with it, it went into disrepair. They couldn't afford to maintain it between 1986 and 2019. But in 2019, Michael Dezer, the guy that owns this entire museum, bought it. And they restored it between 2019 and 2022. So 3 years, spent around $250,000 between all of the shipping and the maintenance and the materials and all that stuff to create this. But you can see how it was a cool business proposition for him, because he gets to say that he has the world's longest car in his museum, and what an amazing thing it is to witness. It's actually worth it just to come to this museum just to see this, because you're never gonna see anything like it anywhere else ever again. Of course, in 2022, this car also received a new white paint job, and as well as that, these brand new wheels with all the DP logos. But yeah, as I walk to the back of this thing, what an incredible vehicle to see. And if you want to see more of the world's just craziest cars, this literally is one of the world's craziest cars. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.